Okay, we are on blog post number 7. You guys, thank you. This is so exciting. Wow. I'm just happy to be able to share with you all. Even like if a few people enjoy this, it's just kind of a fun thing for me to do. So thank you for being a part of it. This one, I really enjoyed writing this one, and honestly, this article is a big reason why I've held out videoing some of these vlogs about my blog posts, because I wanted to go to the actual place that inspired this. But I haven't been back to Nebraska a lot, which is where the place is located. So I think I will one day go back, but I don't want to hold it off anymore. Things don't have to be perfect. I just hope the message still comes across. So, July 16th, 2018, day after my birthday, I'm officially 19. Crazy. Let's see if I sound any different. Probably not. I think I'm just gonna get straight into this one. July 16th, 2018, vlog title, See the Lights. One time I drove from my, at the time, current hometown back to college. Well into nighttime, I approached a hill I had driven on frequently. The speed limit went down from 45 miles per hour to 35 miles per hour on the way up the hill, then back to 45 miles per hour on the way back down. This provided extra protection for the blind spot. I trust myself very much when it comes to driving, maybe too much. So typically, I may or may not have continued to go fast. Each time the car reached the top and picked up speed down the hill, I let it cruise its way to the stoplight. However, this day, in my peaceful diligence to stay true to the law, I slowed all the way down. Although it was not the fast pace I prefer in most things, I found joy on my way up. Cheesy, right? Saying it makes me feel like I seem pretentious, but it's true. I just felt complete peace, making my way to the top. And then I reached it. This moment at the peak usually lasted a millisecond, but this time extended longer, perhaps 3 seconds. Beauty captured my eyes. Dark night surrounded throughout the stripped woods to my right. The black sky continued until I saw my left. Somehow both scattered and clustered lights flashed constantly. My town had me in awe. This would be one of the last times I drove over this hill. For years I missed that secret sight, and I almost went without ever knowing it. Now I hold in my memories a stunning picture from this night. So, sure, the government assigned the speed limit with the primary purpose of keeping people from harm, avoiding accidents. I could still safely get away with not following it, but following the speed limit at that time gave me more than just a sure guarantee of safety. It gave me amazement. God has given us speed limits to life, commandments in scriptures and from prophets in these present latter days. Clearly, people can live their life only slightly falling in line with his guidance and not end up crashing throughout the day. They can even live a life that has success. Each time a person lives this way, though, they pass a blessing and, like me, may not realize that it's even there. The amazement that they could see is almost unknowable. Looking back, the way to see this will always seem simple, but we cannot experience it without following those guidelines and rules, slowing down, and actually looking, which can be hard. For many of us, we need to proactively do God's will, and then, if we want, his blessings will become unveiled to us. I know this is true. Do not miss out like I did so often. Take time, follow what is right, and see the lights. I'm really grateful I had the opportunity to see that spot. I can't imagine if I had missed it. It was so beautiful. Core memory, right? It just stuck with me. Okay, everyone, have a great day. I'll see you for the next post. Bye.